Hello guys, this video is maybe going to be the most important one in your journey because everyone says they want to be healthy, but wanting isn't enough. That's not gonna make it for you because if you don't plan for your health, you don't plan for anything and you're just planning for failure, period. Now, most people nowadays, they just walk around with fake goals in their head and they're saying to themselves, I want to be better. I want to eat better. I want to work out more. But they have no structure. They have no system. They have no map at all. And then they always keep wondering why they fall off, right? So here's the truth. If you don't make the right decision, the easy decision, you're always going to burn out. Willpower won't save you. Motivation won't save you either. You know what actually works? Building a very simple system that makes health the path of the least resistance. That's the only way you can make this sustainable, and that's exactly what I'm going to show you in this video. How you can actually plan for help so it sticks without feeling like a full-time job. So let's immediately get started on why this is so important. Now, this is a file I always use for my clients, for myself. I have been using this for the past couple of years, and I truly think this has helped me immensely in my health goals because so many people, and I'm talking to these people every day, and I used to be one of these guys as well, they think that they can remember everything. So they try to remember all the things they need to do relationship wise. They need to buy presents, they need to stay on top of their workout, their business, their meal plan. Like people are trying to remember everything, every little task. The smaller, the more prone they are to try to remember it. Like the issue is that you can remember it. It's not impossible. But in a world where we live now, right now, you want to reduce the decisions you have to make every day because the more decisions you have to make, the more mental energy you're going to give away to things you can essentially just outsource, right? So, what I figured out, and this was something I didn't figure out when I was younger, but time is very precious. And specifically during the day, right now, when you're running a business, when you're working, when you are in a relationship, whatever, time is very precious. So you want to save as much mental energy for the things that matter the most instead of wasting it on small decisions. So when you want to become healthy, and most of the times becoming healthy isn't your full-time job, right? So you're working, you're an entrepreneur, whatever, right? You just want to be healthy, but it shouldn't take over your life. And the only way to do that, to make sure it won't take over your life, it won't steal all your mental energy, so you can still stay sharp during your business, during your work, is by making a plan and planning ahead every week, creating a system which is easy to adhere to, so you can just don't think about it and just follow a plan. Now, I use Notion. Notion is a free tool, to be honest. You can just download it and use it for free. I will share this file, by the way, later on, so you can use it yourself as well. Now, what I have done is I've created a Notion file, which is basically my digital diary. So you can also buy a physical one, but I found that a digital one is the best one for me because you can also download this app on your phone, and I generally work behind the computer anyway, so this is like the first thing I open up. So the first things we see here is this one. I like to remind myself every day of the days which are remaining in my life because time, at the end of the day, time is the most valuable thing ever. If you have been reading some books, if you have been studying wealthy people, the thing they are doing for their own life is buying back time. They are buying mentors, they're implementing systems, they are asking for advice, consultants, because they'd rather pay money to get their time back than to waste time. Because money is just a tool for time, right? Like when you're trying to build your business, you are sacrificing a lot of time to gain money. But once you gained money, you are going to do the reverse. So then you're trying to buy back time. So I like to remember myself every day of how many days are still remaining in my life. And I assume that I live till I'm 80 years old, right? So on average, you have till you're 80 to fulfill your dreams. And this should be a reminder every day to live as if it would be your last day. So just live your day as if you were given a second chance. And that's just the best way, in my opinion, to do it. Now, these are very simple things. You can just fill that in for yourself. So we have short term goals, which can be from anything like uh, call 50 people in a week, buy some flowers for my girlfriend, whatever. Like just identify short term goals, identify your long term goals, which can be business, relationship, fun. So, for example, sell 500 units, um, take out, go on a date 4 times in a month, and run a marathon, for example. And here, just note down important events. So the idea here is just to write down all the things in your mind. So the more you try to remember, the more mental clutter there's going to be. So I want you to write down your short-term goals. I want you to write down your long-term goals, and I want you to write down any important events. The more you can write down, the better it is for your health. Now, what are you actually going to do on a day-to-day basis? Now, every Sunday, let's assume this is Sunday. Every Sunday, I want you to take 30 minutes out of your day, maybe like 30 to an hour out of your day to plan your week ahead. Now, assuming that you already have a system in place, assuming that you have a diet plan, assuming that you have a workout plan, that you know what to do in order to optimize your health, you can now create a plan so you can make it easy to stick to for the rest of the week. So let's say you want to put on muscle, optimize your testosterone, fix your gut health, right? That is like some basic thing you want to do. Now, first things first, what you want to do is maybe you can already do this in the morning. So for Saturday, but most people are working 9 to 5. So for Saturday is create shopping list for kijk, let's see. Yeah. So on Saturday morning, for example, or Saturday night, you can do create shopping list for meal plan next week. Right? Now, amazing. Then on Sunday, pretty easy. Do groceries next week. Now, the amazing part here, especially when you're trying to plan for health, is meal prepping. So it depends on how busy you are. I sometimes like to buy every other day, but if you're really busy, meal prepping is one of the biggest hacks out there. So, in general, I would suggest that you make a shopping list every Saturday in the morning, for example, or at night, just when you have like 15 minutes. Um, and then Saturday morning, do the grocery shopping. And then Saturday afternoon, Sunday afternoon is cooking meal prep. So you're cooking the meal prep for the entire week, right? So best case scenario, you can technically eat, let's say, you have to prepare 2 meals. So assuming that you make your breakfast yourself in the morning, then you only have to meal prep the dinner, which translates to 7 dinners. And if you are as simple as me and you're just caring about actually optimizing your health, then simplicity is key, right? So you will be eating, let's say, 2 different meals throughout the week. You can also do it 3, 4 times. It's basically what you like, right? So the more meals you're trying to prepare on Sunday, the more times it costs. And if you're really want to be time efficient, I suggest you just make 2 meal preps and then just alter them like every other day, right? So every Sunday you do your meal prep, and then that is that. So the nutrition side is done. So here you obviously determine if all your supplements are still present, if every like your protocol, whatever. Then next one is so here is meal prep one, one, meal prep two, meal prep one, and so on and so forth. Meal prep two, meal prep one. Let's say meal prep two. So in the morning, you basically alter, let's say, two different breakfasts. I think, assuming, let's say, if you work with me, you have like two breakfasts. You basically change up. So you don't need to plan that. Now, the most important thing for planning for health is actually also planning your day-to-day life. So what I want you to do here is firstly go to the calendar. Now let's go to today. Oh wait, let me show you how to actually do it. So if you put on the add-on item here, you click on there, click on now, then you get, oh yeah, this list. So what I want you to do here is every day write down all your daily to-dos, which can be pick up, package, at mall, do business work, veel body training, send flower to mistress, etc. So just write down all your daily to-dos here. So preferably you do this the night before. So if you're trying to plan this the night before, write this down the night before so you exactly know what you need to do. Then this one, eat the frog. And this is one of the most important things, in my opinion, especially when you want to plan for health, when you want to plan for high performance, is that you identify the most important task at hand, which calls eat the frog. So whenever you wake up in the morning, your mental power, your brain power is the strongest, which means that technically speaking, it is the easiest for you to do the hardest task first thing in the morning. So I have been doing this for the last couple of years, and this is, to be honest, the best thing ever, because even if the rest of the day is absolutely trash, you have completed the number one task. So assuming, let's say you're running a business, uh, call 20 new business owners, whatever. Number two task of the day. Let's see, what could we do? Record 3 videos. Number three task, go to the gym. Go to the gym. Now, you write down these three tasks which are the most important of today. And what you should do every day is aim to get these one done. Obviously, this depends on what you're aiming toward, but for most people want to optimizing their health, the most important task in general is just doing the number one thing which is going to move the needle. So, which is could be going to the gym, it could be taking 10,000 steps, ensuring you, let's say, don't go for a snack, whatever. Like whatever your goal is, write them down. Identify the number one task today. So the one task that is going to move the needle by 80%. So you're probably familiar with the 80-20 principle. So you want to structure this in a way which, if you completed only one task that day to make it a success, what would be that one task? So that's going to be the number one task, then the number two task, and then the number three task. And then lastly, the journal entry. You can do this at night before you go to bed. And this is basically just a brain dump. So what you can do here is just say, Maria was an absolute shithead at work today. So instead of giving her bad compliments tomorrow, I'm going to put on an extra big smile to make her happy, because maybe she has been dealing with something at home herself, right? Just do a brain dump here, because the more stuff you get out of your head at night as well, helps you improve your sleep. So I suggest, and this is what have been doing the last couple of years, that you fill this in every day to identify all the things you have to do that day, the most important task, and to clear your head. Now, you have identified this, right? And you can fill in the rest of your days. So, suppose you work a 9 to 5, you will that go for morning walk 7 till 7:30. Make breakfast. And then I suggest you work in deep work blocks. So I'm going to show it to you later on as well. But in deep work blocks is basically you want to structure your focus on work in blocks of 90 minutes to 2 hours, because this aligns our brain energy with the ultra circadian rhythms, which are the cycles of energy which are present in our brain inherently. You might be familiar with you sleep in cycles of 1.5 hours. So basically, it's the same cycle, but then for focus. So what you want to do is the first deep work session is going to be your eat the frog number one. So eat the frog one, right? Then eat the frog two, eat the frog two, eat the frog three, and then after this one, your day is done. So trust me on this. If you use 2 to 3 deep work blocks per day, you're going to get way more done than if you don't apply this. Because normal people, they just work for 8 hours straight, being suboptimally focusing, being distracted all the time. But if you apply Eat the Frog and deep work, so a 90-minute to 2 hour session where you only focus on one fucking thing. Remove all distractions, remove your phone, remove any distraction. Tell your coworkers to don't uh, ignore you, don't annoy you with stuff, don't ask you questions. Just I want you to focus for 90 minutes to 2 hours straight during these blocks. Then you will notice that if you do this like 2 or 3 times per day, it will take up between 4 to 6 hours, that you will get way more done in those blocks than probably an entire week. Now, if you're like most people, you have two options for your workouts. You either do them in the morning, so before your breakfast, or after work. Preferably, I have a preference for doing them after work to yeah, basically reward myself for a long day of work to kind of calm down. I notice that if I go for a workout in the morning, it kind of drains my energy throughout the day. So I like to do a workout after my work. So let's say you want to habit stack this as well. So after you're gonna bring your workout clothes to your work, so that if you're done, you can immediately go to the gym, right? So if you're, for example, then go home and then let me just lay on the couch, then it's like very easy for you to not go to the gym. So you want to habit stack these two things. So make breakfast, take workout clothes with you to work, go to gym and do full body one. Now, this is basically how you're then structuring your day, right? So you wake up and you do this the night before. So every Sunday, at least you can do this for the entire week. So that's what I'm doing. So every Sunday, I place an hour of my day and to basically create this for every day. So for Monday, for Tuesday, for Wednesday, for Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Now I just write down the entire day, including times and exactly everything I need to do, including meals, including which workout, what specific task at work I need to do. You want to map out as much as possible, to write down as much as possible, to keep your mind clear. So the clearer your mind is the better you're going to perform, the easier it is for you to reach your performance goals, your health goals. So you just have to assume that you are going to be a stupid little boy, because we are. Like we all think that we can somehow remember everything, but quite frankly, that's not the case. Now, obviously, which is almost always the case, and even I have to acknowledge this, is that sometimes you cannot finish every task, right? So that's why every night, so after you're eating your meal prep, every night, I want you to just take 5 minutes, 5 minutes to remake the next day. So rethink the next day, go to this file, right? To because that's what we're doing. Add the new day, and then look at what task you weren't able to complete today, and then look at tomorrow. So what are the tasks tomorrow? Which of these tasks are now the most important ones? So then do this again. So which is the number one task today I should complete? Number two task, number three task. And basically, if the number three task of tomorrow is now the number four task because a more important task from today has to be shifted, then you move the number three task to Wednesday, right? And this is way how you can constantly reiterate the planning and never forget actually the things you need to do. So every night you're just gonna take 5 more minutes out of your day to plan the next day exactly ahead, right? To never forget anything, to always make sure you stay on track. Oh, what happened? So that's basically that. I don't think that's basically that. I don't think I can explain anything more here. Oh yeah, and one of the most important things is here. This one is here. You can just write down some side quests. So some most important tasks for this week: plan family event, finish book report, and then during the week you can just say I don't know, plan meeting sales, whatever. Just write down all the tasks you want to do for next week. So if you it's Sunday again, you can open this tab and see, okay, next week these are the most important things and how you can schedule it. Now, this is basically what I've been using the last couple of years, which I think are the most important things. You can just put it in this calendar. For the rest, by the way, there are a lot of things in this file you can use. So here you have your main goals. You can basically write down any big goals you have to track it. So, for example, put a number here, target, you track your progress, yearly goal planner, you have your business profit planner, anything else like your brain dump, which again is just dumping anything in your brain, like your ideas, whatever, right? Just dump like the more information you can dump, the better it is. You basically want to go to bed with an empty brain because if your brain is empty, you can properly restore during night. Your sleep quality is going to be better, and you're going to be waking up more refreshed, more driven than before. So that's basically that. I say you play around with this a little bit to identify what works for you, but this is absolutely life changing because you can have the perfect plan, but if you don't actually plan the plan, it's not going to work. You have to systemize your life in order to make it successful. Like think about it. If you look at athletes, if you look at the people which already made it, are they fucking juggling with what they're going to do every day? No, they have systemized it. They have system in place which make it easy for them to do the right thing. Now, this is basically how I structure it. And I have been using this for years now, and I truly think it is one of the best things you can do for your life. Now, what you can also do if you like more colors, if you're more okay, into this, is that you're now going to put all of those tasks in your agenda, in your Google Calendar, right? Now, this is pretty simple. I don't think I have to explain to you how this works, but it's basically just creating your schedule, and you can do this on Sunday as well. Then just say, for example, okay, 7 to 8 morning routine, which is stretching, walking, to breakfast. Then the first deep work session, lunch, second deep work session, break, third deep work session, and then some low priority task. So basically, the more you can plan, the more you can write down, get out of your head into a calendar, physical or a online one. I prefer online because I can say set reminders, deadlines, etc., etc. The better it is for your health. So that is it. That's the ultimate key to your health. If you want to stay healthy and if you have a plan, if you know what to do, then you must plan it ahead to ensure you can easily stay consistent, easily stay motivated, disciplined without actually needing motivation or discipline. Because the only thing you have to do now is, instead of waking up in the morning and then thinking, okay, what training I'm going to do today? What is the best meal for recovering tonight? What should I eat today? What should I eat tomorrow? Instead of wasting hours and hours of thinking about what you need to do for your health, you can just check your daily task list and just execute. So because you know, okay, I'm going to go for a walk, then I'm going to make this breakfast, I'm gonna take my clothes to the workout, then I'm going to do this, that, and then eat the frog number three. I'm going to do the gym and do full body one, and then I'm going to eat this meal prep or the meal that you prepared for that day. And if you just follow this data, you're gonna notice that your stress is going to decline. You are going to be way more consistent because you essentially take the emotion out of the picture. Because so many people, they let emotion dictate what they do in their day-to-day life. While this can help in the beginning, that's why a lot of people are watching these motivation videos. It gives you a very quick surge of motivation, so you basically get started. But motivation doesn't lead to long-term endurance. So you want to create a system which helps you to not rely on emotion, and this is it. So if you actually want help with identifying a plan, a system which helps you to overcome mental barriers, which helps you overcome underlying root cause issues of why you can't make the progress in your gym, why you still have slow progress, why you can't seem to lose the fat or build that muscle you want to build, to finally show that six pack abs and to just have sky high testosterone, fix those underlying gut issues, and most importantly, get your energy back so you can just finally do the things you're actually passionate about instead of worrying hours and hours and hours about what's now the best thing for you and your nutrition and your training and how to basically fix your health. So if you want help with that, book a call and we'll create a perfect system for you. And on that note, I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.